Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. Tonight's flight has decided to land and hone its thought process and opinions solely in the DC sports area. So we're going to give you this edition of what we call the DC Sports Rundown. We're going to touch on a little bit of all the local teams for you, give you some perspective. Know that some of you have had conversations all week or listened to the radio the last 2 days and had some very strong opinions. So we can give you some of my thoughts on that. We had a nice spirited discussion Sunday about some things as well. So we'd like to bring that to you guys live and direct as only we can. First and foremost, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Let you handle introductions and something special you probably got to say. And then we go from there.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As the Midnight Rider said, welcome to the DC Sports Rundown. It's the big guy KG. First and foremost, I gotta say this. Today is a special day. Not just any day, but today is a day that I would love to hug my wife's parents, her grandparents, her great-grandparents, every one of her ancestors. Because if it wasn't for them, she wouldn't be here. And today is her day. And this woman makes 21 look absolutely amazing. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's the hands you see playing in my hair, fixing my hair, doing the show. You might hear her off camera. You might see her every once in a while on Sundays. But my wife, Lisa, celebrates her birthday today. And I got a platform that I can tell her, quite honestly, if it wasn't for this day, I don't think I would have the happiness that I have in my life. So I met this woman in this lifetime back in 2005. Here it is, 2023. Through all the ups, downs, ins, outs, indecisiveness of me, and us trying to figure it out, we still here. So happy birthday to none other than Miss Lisa. That is hair and makeup in the credits. Like I said, it would be, this day means more to me. I'm being selfish here. It means more to me than anyone because it's my lovey's birthday. So I have to keep it a stat and let it be known. Happy birthday. I love you. I wish you 145 more because I'm trying to be around to at least 160. So I'm trying to keep you around for that long too. And we just do the damn thing all the way into the next millennium and everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Xavier says, happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you.
Midnight Rider, you look like you got something to say.
No, I was going to say happy birthday, but I've been saying it all day to us. I don't know, like, if it even...
It matters. It matters.
Okay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I've been saying it to her all day, like 12 o'clock this morning.
Now, you know how it is. You see a post, you're like, oh, yeah, happy birthday. Oh, yeah, it's her birthday. Happy birthday. I think I said it like 4 times a day. I was like, wait a second. Go back.
And I appreciate each and every time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, man.
Now, I know you tired. I know you want to go to sleep. You off the hook.
Okay.
You off the hot seat. I love you. I will see you in a little bit.
Okay.
And some non-DC related news real quick before we even get started. There's a Ja Morant sighting. Ja Morant is back.
Oh, shit. I hope I don't get suspended for that.
You good.
Yeah, it looked like they welcomed him back with open arms, too. So, well, let's jump into this. because this is the conversation that we had. We were on different sides of the fence on Sunday. But hold on, before we do that, before we jump into that, Christmas is around the corner. It's less than a week away. You need to get your drinker, your sipper, your lover of bourbons, ryes, what have you. You need to get them something, don't know what to get them. Buy FortMosay.com. Use our discount code that's /discount maniacs and get $10 off your purchase. If you buy a purchase over $130, you get free shipping anywhere in the United States. So that's BUYFORTMOSE.com. Now, Midnight Rider, we were on different sides of the fence last night. Wow. You don't need to be worried about Ja Morant being back. Tell your friends. Nah, I prefer not to.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
But we were on different sides of the fence. Now, Washington lost 28-20 Sunday to... I don't even remember who they played. I didn't block it out of my head.
The Los Angeles Rams.
The LA Rams. And I said in a pregame show, I said, they're going to win this game because it's going to mess up draft position. But they lost. And they brung in Jacoby Brissett late in the game. Sam Howell was pulled. Okay? You and I were on different ends of the spectrum. You said Sam Howell should have been pulled earlier to save this game. I said Sam Howell was pulled to save him from him and to save him from the beating physically and mentally that he was going to take in this game. Now, I'll let you have the floor first because even though you're a Sam Howell guy, you're high on this drafting another quarterback. And not only you, it's a lot of people in the fan base that's talking about drafting another quarterback and everything.
So the way I see your question is two separate questions. First and foremost, question A is Brissett coming in the game. My question is why do we wait so long? I'm not worried about the kid's mental capacity at this point. The physical toll he's taking because he's already taken that toll. So this isn't the coach trying to save a guy from some abuse. What it is saving himself from some bad habits he's starting to form, and he's literally starting to hurt himself from being the quarterback that you say, oh yeah, I'm good with him as my quarterback. And that's the part of the argument I want you to see. But we're going to talk about that separately in terms of the pick and everything. When I watched the offense play, I just didn't see any balance. And I know for me, a lot of times I blame the OC. I look at the plan that Eric has in place, and I just feel like sometimes he doesn't put them in the best position to advance the ball, or you'll move the ball and then you're getting a spot, and then all of a sudden we don't get points out of it. Some of that's Howell, some of that's him, some of that's the offensive line. But this kid wasn't getting beat up. So the defensive line for the Rams only had one sack. They didn't have a whole lot of hits on the quarterback. So for this to be considered us saving him, I thought it was a Travis Sham mockery.
Okay. Now, I'm on the other side of the fence, and I'll say this. There is no way in four hells, if you thought Jacoby Brissett was better at the QB position starting out. Now, mind you, throughout this whole season, nobody has called for, once somebody called for Jacoby Brissett. But for the most part, everybody's been rocking with Sam. But these last two games, seems like, it's like we're not talking to Sam. We're not talking about Sam. We're not running with Sam. It's like you giving up on Sam. Not you per se, but people have given up. But I said this. You put Brissett in. The game's already wrapped up. Yes, it looks closer than what it was, but it wasn't close. And the simple fact that you're talking about garbage time, you're talking about prevent defense, you're talking about
no Aaron Donald.
No Aaron Donald. You talking about shell coverage. Yeah, I could look good back there. All I got to do is throw underneath. And
he did. He threw over top.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Oh, he found Terry. Well, Terry's open. Okay. You're talking about a proverbial rookie. And I've been saying this all season. You have to go through the growing pains. Everybody's so quick to get the next new shiny toy, but you never even cherish the toy that you already have. Everybody's looking at Caleb Williams and John David Booty and all them guys and stuff. You're looking at all them guys, but you don't know what you're getting in them. At least you know what you're getting in Sam, and you know that you can mold him. Oh, well, what if the new coaching regime doesn't want him? Bruh.
That's the big question. Like you're passing this off like a blah. But bro, that's the issue. The issue is, and I've said this on the pre-show, I've said this on our post shows at times when we talk on a Tuesday. Sam Howell hasn't done enough to convince me, if I'm the owner, that he's the guy I should be putting my investments in for next year. And that's his problem. That's a him issue. Not a coaching issue, not anybody else's issue. Like, you have to put this job out of hand or out of place so that new person coming in is like, yeah, I've seen enough. Have we seen flashes? Heck yeah. Has it been impressive? Heck yeah. But my owner told you 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at a symposium what he wants to do. He wants to build this slowly and develop this. He said, I can cheat and get you to 8-1, which is a shot. I can cheat it and get you there. But we want to be consistent winners. We got to do the things that consistent winners do.
Now, I figured you would say that.
Because it's the facts.
Oh, hold on. Sam Howell this season. Now, would you consider Jalen Hurts quite possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC?
He's in there, yeah.
Okay. Would you consider him top 5?
All right, so let me help you with this. Remember a couple things. Women lie, men lie, numbers lie.
But numbers don't.
But the tape don't. Tape don't lie. But go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you live out your fallacy here with this. I know what's coming next.
Yeah, head to head.
Earlier today.
Yes, head to head with Jalen Hurts. With Jalen Hurts, I'm reading this. This is from, what is this from? Stathead Football.
Mm-hmm.
Head to head. They both played 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jalen Hurts is 10-4. Sam Howell's 4-10.
That's a big number.
Yeah, that is. That's win. I mean, that's what your career is judged off of a lot of times is wins. Completion percentage, Hurts 65. Howell 64. Passing yards, Hurts 3,335. Howell 3,568. Yards per attempt 7.2 for Hurts, 6.7 for Howell. Yards per game 254.9 for Howell, 238.2 for Hurts. Passing TDs, they even at 19. INTs, Howell has 15, Hurts has 14. I want to say this may have been before last night that this came up, but I may be wrong. It may be at 12 because Hurts threw a couple picks last night. QB rating, Hurts is 89.9 and Howell's 83.9. Of course, Hurts has got the rushing yards 542. Howell has 265. Howell has more rushing yards per attempt than Hurts. That's because of the tush push and all that. 5 rushing TDs for Howell, 14 for Hurts. Now, here's the thing. This is what I'm getting at. Howell is a proverbial rookie. He hasn't even started 17 games in his career. This is only 15. Last game was his 15th game that he started. He hasn't even started a full season yet. Okay? If he's keeping pace with one of the best QBs in the league, by God, I think we got ourselves a baller. All he needs to do is be cultivated. What's the problem that I always say we have in DC? You don't cultivate the talent. You want everything to happen right now. It's got to be instant. I hate this right now society. Everything has to happen now. You don't want to work for it. You don't want to cultivate it. You don't want to say, let me go ahead and build this up. Here's another difference between the two quarterbacks. One of the best quarterbacks in the league, and Jalen Hurts. A proverbial rookie in Howell. What's the difference? One has a line. The other has a makeshift line.
That's not the difference.
Okay. Coaching is there too,
That's
but
not
I mean,
the difference either. One guy is number one in passing attempts on the season. That's Sam Howell. When you throw the ball 65% of the time, you're going to have numbers. You're going to be up there. The problem I have with the numbers argument for him is the exorbitant amount of times that this team has thrown the football and put him in bad positions because they've been so steadfast on throwing the football that they're not even giving themselves a chance in the running game. You're not even giving yourself a chance in the running game. And that's the part that bothers me is if this is more balanced, if there's a better plan in place, if we're doing some other things to help facilitate Sam Howell being a quarterback, that's a difference. The problem I have is, yes, you can spit me all those numbers you want, but my eyes don't lie to me. And right now, I don't see a guy selling me on him being the future. I see a guy that's just surviving right now. And he's just hoping he can get out of these last 3 games. Is he a guy? Yes. Is he a starter in this league? Yes. Do I want him to be my starter next year? And this is where the microwave part baffles me in your argument. If I say we're drafting a rookie because I'm drafting the top 5 and I'm drafting somebody that should have elite skill set, I'm starting over. I'm trying to build. The other reason this becomes even more of more important of a concept is you have 2 years left on Howell's deal. Then you have to quote unquote pay him. If I start my clock over again, I get 5 years of a rookie quarterback, 4 regular, and the 1 fifth-year option. And these are all still things that I can do. Then I can also try to use Howell as draft capital. So I have options. I'm not saying that if you don't move Howell, if you stick with Howell, it's an issue. I have no problems with whatever direction they go in. The biggest issue I always have, and I will always have, is this team doesn't have an identity.
I agree with you.
If you give us a second and we go into some of these picks and some of these things, we can talk about like the missing identity.
And Miss Lisa, my wife, she says, thank you all for the B-Day wishes. You're more than welcome, lovey. You deserve it. And you deserve more. But I ask this question all the time. And Midnight Rider, maybe you can answer it. What do you give a woman that asks for nothing?
I think I feel like I'm missing a song lyric here.
No.
And I'm messing this up.
It's like a combination. You know, that's what I always ask. What do you give a woman that asks for nothing?
I got something. I got something you might like, bruh. I'm gonna inbox you.
Okay. But the answer to that, you give it a world, Chico. And everything in it.
I figured we were going somewhere like that, but I just wanted to step back.
She got my heart fluttering. So I don't think I want to argue anymore. Let's get some music going.
That's why I told you do this Sunday, because we was heated Sunday.
Yeah, but no,
Sunday.
I'm still heated because here's the thing. You say 5 years. This is only year 2 for Howell. Remember, he missed most of last year being inactive. Then he started the last game of the season.
Right, but he's a 5th round pick. So that means you don't get a 5th round option with him.
We don't
only got him for 4 years.
Okay, so we got 2 years left.
Right. But in year 4, you have to start making moves to figure out.
You got to figure out if you're going to name or not.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. If he doesn't pan out, he doesn't pan out. But I don't want to go through the growing pains of another rookie starting over yet again. Think
I
about
thought
this.
you wanted us to be patient. You just said we don't build, we don't have patience. We're a microwave society.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not a microwave society.
That's why I don't want to draft a quarterback. I don't really. I mean,
that's
the quarterback.
Why do you want to draft the quarterback?
Here's the thing. He has the intangibles. That's what I'm trying to say. He has the intangible. He has the work ethic. He has the knowledge. Think about this.
He has to show me. There's. Trust me, KG. I think there's. If he's Clay, he's very moldable into a good quarterback. But the question is, it's like the Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes argument. You can have Alex Smith, and you can win you 9-10 ball games every year, and flame out because you play a better quarterback. Or you can take the risk. And I'm not calling any one of these three young men Pat Mahomes. What I'm saying is, if you believe they give you the option to be elite, then you take the chance to be elite every time over being average.
Yeah.
And that's my whole argument in this case is if there's somebody you deem elite, you have to take the elite guy. You can sit Sam behind them and whatever and figure it out. Maybe somebody misses on their quarterback and you can move Sam for something. You know, you put yourself in a spot of leverage. Because that's something this team doesn't do. They don't think out front of the curve.
Hear me out on this. Think about the quarterbacks we've drafted. Let's say the last 20 years.
Okay.
You have Patrick Ramsey. We miss. Strong arm quarterback, we miss. And that was actually pre-20 years ago. You have Jason Campbell. Mm-hmm. Jason Campbell's downfall was not talent. We use the term on this show an awful lot, quarterbacks getting Jason Campbell, where you have 5 different coordinators and 5 different offenses in 6 seasons. You have no continuity. That was a downfall for him. When he got with Zorn, he was a little bit better because he had a little bit of continuity, but Zorn didn't have the offensive oomph to push him over. But he had the intangibles and certain things that Jason was bad at. Zorn taught him how to be better at, if that makes sense. And it was slight things like when he dropped back in the pocket, the shoulder turn to step up. And we used to complain about him not stepping up, things like that. But Jason Campbell. Then you look at RG3, Kirk Cousins. RG3 was his own worst enemy. Call a spade a spade. Kirk Cousins wanted the money, but Kirk Cousins' contract should have been incentive laden. I think he would have hit all of his incentives and got his money.
You can't do that when we have this argument every time you talk about this. And you keep saying incentive laden. Kirk is not taking anything incentive laden.
But the thing is, he would have hit the numbers. He was hitting the numbers with no talent around him.
His agent would have been fired so fast. It's no.
So you saying getting a bonus for throwing for 4,000 yards is not good enough? Kirk throws for 4,000 yards in his sleep.
Yeah, but he still deserves elite money. You was trying to give him 12 million, 13 million when he signed a franchise tag for 16.
What I was trying to give him was actually 15. I said I didn't want to go to 17 to 20. I said 15, 16 is where I'll stay at. But I'll give him the rest to make up for that in incentives. You got 15 million base. You're getting that guaranteed.
No. I'm not taking 15 million guaranteed when I got 16 and a half guaranteed.
Okay, moving on.
That makes no sense, but that's minutia.
Pen in that, because that's something we'll talk about. I structure contracts way different. You got to earn this money. I'm not giving away free money.
Right, but the problem is you talking about earning money in a situation where he's already got made money.
No. I in actuality, I said that before they even franchise. I never wanted them to franchise him. I hate franchise tag because it's like you overpay for the season.
Maybe we sipping off the same well of water. We just got to the well differently.
Yeah, I'm talking long before they even gave him the franchise. I was like,
Even
instead of
still,
late contract and just hook him up. Okay, you drafted Dwayne Haskins. Rest his soul. He was drafted by a coaching staff that didn't want him. But when he got the chance to play, you saw what you saw at Ohio State. You saw things under Bill Callahan, but then guess what? Callahan's gone. And we had a better offensive line under Callahan too. But Callahan's gone. When Ron comes in, it's a little different because Ron's coming in trying to feel everybody out. He got in trouble. He had to go. I mean, he made a mistake. He made a couple of mistakes. And unfortunately, he had to lose his job for that. But I still think if he would have gotten, imagine if they would have said, hey, let's see what this kid's got with the ones. And let's get him some reps with the ones at the end of practice every day. Just to work him in there. Instead of just kind of just having him like a guy and you just not really doing nothing with him. My point of all of this is
on him then. Like the part, I understand what you want to say and what you're trying to say, and you're going through history, but the problem is on January 8th, 2024, whatever we used to do is totally different from what we're going forward and doing. Because the objective should be bringing in the GM.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Don't
hold on. I'll take it back a step further. Is getting the team president to establish an identity, find a GM who believes in your blueprint, and then hiring a coach that goes along with the blueprint.
Okay.
Everything from there.
That's a great segue. I don't know if you've seen my banners, but that's a great segue. Now, we're not going to agree on the quarterback thing, so we'll put that to bed for right now. But who do you fire on? I need names of everybody you're letting go on January 8th. That's what I need. I need names. I don't want positions. I want names. Because I got a list of names.
Hurney, Mayhew, Rivera. Everybody on the staff's got to go.
So are you keeping the enemy?
Everybody on the staff got to go.
Hey, look, man, don't treat me like a kid. I'm asking specific questions here. Okay.
No. And the reason I say that is because what I don't want to do is I don't want to do this dance with the devil where I hire a coach and then I'm telling him he has to keep my OC or whatever, because we've done this before.
Yes.
We have the OC in place before. I want this to be a very organic situation where if he comes in and him and Eric kick it off, and they all right, cool. You want to keep them, that's fine. But I don't need no strings attached. I need everybody out of the building. I need all the keys.
Yeah, what you need it for? Change the code to the key fob. Deactivate that key fob.
Good. I'm sorry. That was an old school remark. My bad. That was a KG moment for me. Yeah, change the key codes. Let's go. Shit. We do that. We deactivating everybody's shit. No, I'm joking. Just that's it. And we start over. Because I want this to be a full-fledged culture rebuild. And honestly, to some extent, I want Jason Wright gone too.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. I was going to say Jason Wright. I think what you do with Eric Bieniemy is you move him to another role inside the organization so he doesn't leave outside the organization.
No.
Listen. Dig what I'm saying. Pull my coat and follow me on this one. Now the question is, who do you fire on January 8th? I think Jason Wright has been nothing but good when he's been able to do things on his own. But, when you had a meddling owner, it didn't work out that way. But Jason Wright, I think he needs to go. Martin Mayhew, Marty Hurney, Rob Rogers, Eugene Shin, Eric Stokes, Chris Polian. I was asked, was it last night or the night before? It was last night. I was asked about Doug Williams. And I said, what is Doug Williams' role? Senior advisor. What advisor to who? Do you walk Doug out of the building too?
So I don't know enough about what Doug does. Doc spoke pretty highly of what he does. But really what I want to do is I want to wipe everything clean.
Okay.
I want this guy to come in, tell me now. Maybe he comes in, and because people contracts don't, end before a certain date, he gets to interview people. All right, I like this guy. I like that guy. That guy works with me. This kid works with me. That's fine. But what I really want you to do is turn on some Tina Marie. I want you to play it very loud. I want you to change key codes. I want to take it. I don't care if we got to pull the carpet up. I want everything brand new after January 8th. I want, if the carpet's red, make it black. I don't care. If the paint on the walls is red and gold, burgundy and gold, change it to something else. I want the diagrams changed. I want the writing on the wall. If it's in what's the writing style? New Times Roman.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something else. I want this to be a complete whitewash of what has been here, and we start anew.
Okay, let me ask you this before we, and Tim Gribble as well, director of college personnel.
See, I love this part about you because you like to get in the weeds with a lot of the personnel people, but like some of those moves are going to happen naturally. A, yes, because contracts are up. B, because, and then that's what I want to talk. If we can, after we do this, I want to talk about draft and how the Jekyll and Hyde part of this Ron Rivera era set itself up to fail from the begin with. We're supposed to be where we are now because the way this team drafted this team and some of the people this team decided to keep.
The way this team drafted this team, I get you. Now, here's what I was saying. When I was saying about keeping Bieniemy in the building, you don't know what the next regime is going to do. But I don't want to lose Bieniemy to another team because he's shown flashes, but I think I'm not saying he's going to be the next coach, but you kind of move guys around. And I heard talk that don't kill me on this one. Josh Harris actually wants to keep Ron Rivera in the building, but in another capacity. Don't know how true that is. I've heard that. Because he actually likes Ron, but he wants to keep him in another capacity. I think on the business side, not the football side.
There's nothing from a business acumen he's showing me, from a team building acumen. I mean, if you want him to go get coffee in the mornings and sit in on meetings, that's fine. But like, I want no. See, the part you I might not be saying this clearly.
I know what you want.
I want no parts of what's been here to a certain extent. If we've identified some young guys in the building, and my whatever you want to call it, whether it's Eugene Shen, whether it's the player personnel, however he structures this, I want those two top guys to make a list. I want them to check it twice. Because we got to figure out who the best people are in this building. And if they're worth keeping, keep them.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to say. You have full autonomy. Okay? Everybody's gone. Bieniemy, whole coaching staff. You can bring in anybody you want. Quickly. Who do you hire on January 9th? Because that's when the hiring process starts. Everybody got to clean their shit out. Ron Rivera is getting fired January 7th. It's going to be announced on January 8th. His office is already going to be packed up that weekend because he already knows he's gone. He talks like a man that knows he's getting fired at the end of the season. He's not sad. He's not upset. He's pretty much like, I didn't get the job done.
The man's tired.
That too. And
the man has had to rebuild an identity of an organization that no one really likes. The team name, the process of how we got to the team name. and the implementation of the team name.
Yeah.
Man had cancer in 2020 and had to figure it out.
Yeah, and kept coaching. Then we had to deal with the pandemic.
So and that's all in the same year.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I don't like. I'm gonna say it this way, because I'm gonna stick to the point. I'm gonna stick to the point. Who do I hire on January 9th? Absolutely no one.
Well,
because if I'm hiring somebody on January 9th, then my process has failed me to a certain extent. I need to be doing interviews on January 9th, maybe some interviews on the 10th. Maybe we get to that point on 11th, 12th, 13th where we're hiring somebody. Yes, do we have some back channel conversations going on right now with some people? What I'm saying. Yeah, there's some back channel conversations. I know, like, I might not interview. This isn't a situation where I'm interviewing 10 people for my, whatever I'm calling my, whether it's my GM, my president of player personnel, however I'm deciding to structure this. Because there's a very interesting word in the title for Eugene Shen is football strategies. So I don't know what weight that covers in the whole process as well. So there's some things that the question might be, what do I learn on January 9th? Because what I learned on January 9th may be, all right, Eugene Shen is covering this. This is his responsibilities. This is how we're moving forward. Because I think on the 9th, there should be a press conference where he explains the plan and he lays out the blueprint. This is what we want. This is the culture we're trying to create. And I don't want the word culture to be like, oh, this thing where we're not harassing women and we're not grabbing butts and taking pictures of people. No, the culture has to be, this is what is a Washington Commander. This is who a commander is. This is the type of player we identify and we're going to go after. I've said this every time you and I have talked about the draft, every time we have talked about this team, that if you ain't got no identity, you just out here drafting players.
Agreed. Now, if I'm hired on as the GM, the president, but I'm over everything. If I'm hired on, I know who I'm bringing in. The first people I'm hiring, if I'm GM, the first people I'm hiring, you always hire smarter people than you. So you're not always the smartest in the room, but you hire people that's smarter than you. I'm hiring probably the best scouting team I can find because I need scouts. I need y'all to get to work, Senior Bowl, all that stuff. Get to work because we only got 2 months. When I hire my coach, whomever it may be, let's say it's Coach A, and this coach has a certain type, this team fits it, we got money.
Whoa,
okay.
Whoa. No. I don't mean to cut you off. My coach type doesn't matter to me. My type matters to me. And I'm gonna build this team in my image and my thought process. Up the road in Baltimore, they don't build a team in the image of whoever it is that's coaching the team. They build it through Ozzy's eyes, and they hire coaches that understand that that's what we are going to be. We're going to be a defensive first team. We're going to be a run the ball team. We're going to invest in the trenches. Now, if that's what we want to do, I'm good with it, KG. And I don't mean to cut you off, but you got me at this.
See, I can't hire you and expect you to cook a meal but never let you shop for the fucking groceries. I can't do that to you. Yes, John Madden didn't have that done to him in Oakland. Al Davis didn't do that to John Madden. John Madden's the winningest percentage-wise. He's the winningest coach in NFL history. He didn't have that done. Chuck Noll didn't have that done. The Rooneys didn't do that to him.
What you mean they didn't do that? Yes, they did.
He was allowed to go shop for his own groceries.
No, they was built in the Steelers' image. Mike Tomlin right now.
Chuck Noll made that image.
Okay. I wasn't there with Chuck Noll. All I'm saying is going forward from this day forth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. That's like I know that's straight lemonade, but good God, Show the man the drinking. No, this is a topic I'm telling you right now, KG. I'm uber passionate about because I think we have to. It can't be we placate our identity to what the coach is. The coach has to fit our identity. That's the whole part of the interview process. And if he can't come in and toe the company line, then you got to go, or we're not hiring.
Time out. When you use words like that, it sounds like that trash ass organization down south about towing the line. No, we ain't towing the line.
No. There's a way we do things, and this is all I keep trying to talk about. And you I think maybe you trying to what's my man Fenton? That's the Baltimore fan. I think you're trying to make me compliment his team more than I want to. But there's a way they do things there. There's a way they do things in Pittsburgh.
But see, hold on.
When I say no, that's how I want. I want us to have an image and a way we do things. Because if we don't do things the way we supposed to, then we're gonna struggle. And I'll show you. I got evidence.
We had a conversation a couple months ago, and I said something about like we need to start doing it like they do in Baltimore. The first thing you said to me, we ain't doing shit the way they do in Baltimore.
Hey, that was an emotional conversation.
All right, you said you wanted to talk about draft before we go on to this next topic. Draft.
So I listened to my coach, and like if you got the 2020 draft, you can pull that up for me.
Just watch this 2020 draft.
Yeah.
All right, hold
because
on.
There's the issue I have with the way this team drafts, and I'm gonna try to show it to you in a way that makes sense. In 2020 that's the Chase draft, right?
I believe that was.
So we draft Chase 2 overall, but with our number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm coming. I got it.
No, take your time.
Okay. Yes.
All right, give me the second round pick.
We didn't have a second round pick. You picked Antonio Gibson in the 3rd.
All right, so hold on. Let's start there. So we picked Chase to be our dominant defensive lineman, blah, blah, blah. We take a kid that's a wide receiver, convert him to running back, and make him our feature back on our team. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
and he has
a kid and decided to change his identity and what he does the best. Hold on.
Did we change that or did he have to change that? I thought he was a running back the last year in college.
He was splitting time between the two.
Okay.
But the kicker is you drafted him exclusively to be your RB.
Yes.
Okay. So he had some struggles. He had his 2 years where 1,000 yards or close to it. Who's your next pick in that draft?
Sadiq Charles in the 3rd, as well as Antonio Gandy Golden.
So Gandy Golden doesn't play at all. And Sadiq Charles is hurt for the most part of the last 4 years, so you really get nothing out of him.
Yeah.
So your top 4 picks.
He moved from tackle to guard.
Say that again?
He moved from tackle to guard.
So you take your 2nd pick overall, you trade him for a compensation pick 4 years later. You got your 2nd pick who's probably not going to get picked up by this new regime to go forward with this team. So you're not even getting your 3rd round pick to a 2nd contract. Your 2 4th rounders, one isn't even in the league anymore. So that's even more of a travesty on your ability to pick players. And the other one is an injury-laden, injury-prone guard that you picked to be tackled, but somehow you didn't understand that his arms weren't long enough to reach God. So now you had to move him to the guard, and now he still can't stay healthy. All right?
Hold on. I thought it's because he didn't have his feet weren't quick enough.
That's even better. That shows me it's even worse part on you scouting this team. So let's go to 22.
Oh, you want to go to 20? You don't want to finish this?
No, I'm done. I don't need anything after the 4th round. I feel like it's a luxury.
Okay, so you want to go to 21 or 22?
Go to 22. I'm gonna go to 21.
Okay.
All right. So in 21, You draft Jamin Davis, linebacker, with your first pick. You leave a left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, on the board, even though he had back issues. He was elite tackle talent in this league. And he's currently probably one of the better left tackles in the NFC if you ask Minnesota. But you take Jamin Davis. You like him because of his speed, right? Right? Who you playing beside him?
David
Cole
Mayer.
Holcomb,
Oh, well, that season, Cole Holcomb. Him and Cole Holcomb.
and then who's coming off the bench? John Bostic. But you're telling me you want to be fast and athletic. I'm sorry. You want to be fast and athletic, but you got John Bostic as your first option up as your linebacker.
Yeah.
That's again where we don't have an identity. You're settling for something.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's my favorite pick. Number 3 overall in this round is Benjamin St-Juste, the third rounder. So now you're telling me, hey, Ben, you know what I like? I like tall corners. I like them to be physical. I like them to have a little arm reach, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You know what I say? That sounds good. Let's stick to that plan. In the third round, you draft Yami. Questionable returns on that. John Bates is your blocker. Decent results on that, but he's not a game breaker. And I'll give you the 5th rounder, Derek Forrest, because when he's played, he's made plays, right? But also in that year, you got Cosme as your 2nd round pick, who you didn't keep at tackle. You moved that guard. And this is where I have a problem. Go ahead.
When this happened, when it happened with Sadiq Charles, and I saw Sadiq Charles in minicamp, I said, move him to guard.
Right.
I said, move him to guard. Same thing with Cosme. I said, if Cosme can't play, because Cosme was drafted to replace Morgan.
Right.
So he was supposed to play the right, but I think he was getting abused over there because he wasn't quick enough. And I was like, he damn
around like a turnstile.
Yeah. If you can't play right tackle, you damn sure can't play left.
Right.
So, and I was like, okay, move him inside. So you got Sadiq and Cosme as your guards because I knew we were going to lose Sheriff. Bad as I didn't want to, I knew we were going to lose Sheriff. So you got them as your guards. Same thing we did with Sheriff. Sheriff was drafted to be the right guard. I mean, the right tackle. He wound up becoming a right guard. He became top 3 right guard in the league for 4 years. So it works. But I get what you're saying. That's not what you drafted them for.
And here's the other word that I've hated since this team has been in Ron's hands is position flex.
Positionless
football. Because the word to me is an oxymoron. It is detrimental in its own right. Because you're telling me I'd rather take a guy that's okay at 2 spots than somebody that's really good at 1. And I have a problem with that. Because you're a guy that's been okay at 2 spots. Be it Cosme, be it who's the other guy I'm thinking about? Sadiq Charles.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing out on that. That's our issue. And that's the part that's the struggle for me. It's like, when are we building to continuously make it better? Hey, KG, I'm about to go out for a quick. Other internet. And if I'm still going and this is working out fine, then that's even better. Boom, transition seamlessly if that all went through just like that.
It kind of sort of did. Because you said for a minute, and then you was like, if it's working out and I keep going, it's good. So, you know. But I was gonna say,
so that's 2021, right?
Don't forget this. In 2021, you drafted Cameron Cheeseman. He just got released on Monday.
Okay, and then you got
You drafted Cheeseman to replace Sunbird. And honestly, I was fucked up. I was fucked up.
If you haven't listened to, there's an interview in the 6 o'clock hour with Grant and Danny with Sunberg. Let's just say that's good material. That's good. That's good entertainment right there.
All right, don't say less, fam. But you know, here's the crazy part. Hold on. Let me tell you this real quick. When Sunberg was brought in to replace Ethan Albright, the red snapper, I was livid. I was like, you do not replace the red snapper. He's still got at least 3 good years, and you don't replace him right now. I'm fan favorite. When they brought in Cheeseman to replace Sundberg, I was like, you do not replace Sundberg. So, and now Cheeseman is gone. And I'm like, okay.
But you have to think about this. For 20 years, for 19 or 20 years of the last 22 years, you've had Sundberg and Albright.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done the one thing they've done right is they've gotten that right. They've gotten punter right.
Yes, from Sav Rocker to Trust Way.
Right. So that's probably, I guess, their calling card right now. That ain't a good calling card.
No, when your special teams player is the best player on the team.
So let's go to 2022.
BJ said he's scared his own internet not working. Damn. All right, 2022. Jahan Dotson, first pick.
So let's see. This weekend he came out of the game with a target, maybe a catch. Oh, he didn't get a catch. Okay. Who's next?
Phidarian Mathis.
Oh yeah, because Phidarian play all the time. Okay, yeah, exactly. So he was hurt last year. He played the first game of the season last year. Doesn't play this year. I mean, he's playing this year, but he's playing sparingly.
Right.
And I don't know if he has a sack at all. He's a run stopper. The whole problem with there's no problem with the Phidarian Mathis pick. There's a problem with the implication or the application going forward. Because if you take him, you have to then pick between Payne and Allen. It can't be a both scenario. Because if you
I tagged you on something, please read that if you haven't. It's on Twitter, but I agree with it wholeheartedly.
I think I saw what you're talking about. But the plan, the defensive line plan, they screwed that up because they decided to be loyal. And then that also, by them handling the defensive line plan with the tackles instead of taking a tackle and the end, and then going younger on the other side or however you want to do it, that screwed them up this year. Because now it puts you in a pinch because now you're like, all right, if I pay Sweat, do I really walk out of this season paying 3 defensive linemen $20 million?
And speaking of Sweat, this guy got 12 and a half sacks on the season. I said he would have double-digit sacks. Thank you. Pay me my money. And I wasn't talking just getting 10 sacks. The season ain't even over. He already got 6.5 in Chicago now.
Yeah, no, he's the talent. But if you get the number 36 pick for him, I'm sorry. I'm taking that because that translates into draft capital in the future. And that 36 pick, if you move that pick, it becomes a pick later on in this draft, probably another second rounder. It becomes maybe a future second or a third, and it becomes another third that year as well. You should come out of this with 3 picks if you work this correctly. And maybe I'm too high with the third, but that's all I'm saying. So that's where the options are for them, or where the options lie.
Okay.
Let's speed that up a little bit. What's the next pick?
B-Rob. Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama. 3rd round, 98th pick.
Solid back.
Dividends. I think that's the best pick of the Ron Rivera regime.
And then that's gonna be sad then. Because I think I agree, but I think if you paid attention early in the season, I was at a point where I was a little frustrated with our backs. Like, yes. I don't think our backs were X factors enough. Now the Buffalo game, there was other game we caught the ball on the sideline and ran for like 60 yards for a touchdown.
Atlanta game.
Okay. No, it's later than that. Because it was in the rain.
The Atlanta game was in the rain.
No, Atlanta, I thought we played Atlanta at Atlanta.
No, this year we played Atlanta home. We were home. We were in the rain. Because if I'm not mistaken, when we played them, I was like, yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of 91 and the divisional playoff seat cushion game.
All right, so let's go with that. Let's roll with that. That doesn't hinder or help my argument, but he has shown us stuff there. All right, who's fourth in
Who's
that
in
draft?
Atlanta? Oh, I'm sorry. Xavier confirmed we were in Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all good, dog.
I think he's wrong, but okay. He don't know nothing.
So,
But he
so
might
the
be right.
fourth round pick in that draft.
Percy Butler.
All right, so Percy Butler is the guy that, to steal my Chris Collinsworth, here's the guy that if you tell him he has deep responsibility, he will always jump the short route. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if that's what teams see that I see, but I swear to goodness, every time I see somebody streaking up the sideline, I see Percy Butler streaking underneath to try to pick up a crossing route. Happened Sunday. It's happened pretty much every Sunday the last 4 weeks, if not more than that, since Defoe has been out. But here's another problem with that. You draft a kid like Defoe, who's a little bit more physical, a little bigger of a safety. And then you draft Butler, who's a little more slight of frame, but he's faster.
Mm-hmm.
What's our identity again?
You don't have one.
Because we're drafting one year and we're drafting this different.
One of these things are not like the other.
Exactly. That's kind of like how that LA in-season tournament banner felt last night. But I'm not going to go there.
We'll talk about that offline and try to get that set up for Thursday. Here's the thing. Not saying that he's going to turn out like this, but I remember a young safety we had here a long time ago. He used to play like that early in his career, where he was supposed to have deep coverage, but he would creep under the underneath routes, and they would run a wheel route right up the sideline. It happened in Dallas. He was going for the big hit on Keyshawn, and they ran I think, Miles Austin up the backside, scored the game-winning touchdown. We had a young safety that used to do that, but he learned from his mistakes.
But the question becomes, again, this is a film study, because if this kid hasn't picked this up yet, then he's not doing enough in his film study time. Also, just this becomes another dent or chink in the armor of this team drafting players. So let's speed on up to 2023. And I'm going to get to this real quick.
All right, Emmanuel Forbes, first pick.
Forbes. Oh, Forbes. You told me in 2021 we want physical corners, long corners, strong corners. In 2023, instead of drafting Christian Gonzalez,
which you said,
we draft the kid that's 176 pounds. I don't even care about his weight because Darrell Green played at 176. So I'm cool with that. But you draft the kid slight of frame, and that goes against your physical nature that you talked about. Again, where our two concepts don't get married. Instead, one is the groom and the other one's the bridesmaid, because it's not making sense. Who's next in that draft? Second round, Jatavius Martin.
Jatavius Martin.
Now, let's see. We got Forrest. We got Butler. We got Curl. We got another safety in there. Oh, we got Reeves. But we draft Martin. So I mean, I know what the five fingers said to the face, but what we doing here?
My elbow ashy as hell.
That's the only thing you took from this. I appreciate this lesson being taught today. But no, so that's one part of it. And then from a corner standpoint, you got Fuller, St. Juice, Forbes. So now he's the fourth corner and the fifth safety.
Well,
what kind of value is that in the second round?
I always thought we were too backloaded with the DBs, because I feel, and then you still had Danny Johnson, who I believe Danny Johnson just got released too, didn't he?
Yeah, they picked up Castro Fields, and that's a whole nother conversation. Okay. There's another conversation about how we decide who gets on the field that blows my mind.
You had all these guys already on the team. You just needed to add depth pieces, but you added so many pieces. Guys are not getting on the field, and then you don't add any. I don't want to say talent because I don't want to diminish them. You didn't add the pieces that you should have added.
You added the pieces to the wrong part of the puzzle. You can't. I mean, it's only so many Lego blocks that you can play on the first level.
Yeah.
If the first floor is full, that next level that you put in is going to be on the second floor or the second level. He can't be on the first level. It's real simple. And I'm going analogy crazy today. I see.
I
So
love
third
it.
is Stromberg. Stromberg's out.
Yeah, Ricky Stromberg.
Don't mind that because you finally address the offensive line. But then your next guy is Braden Daniels, who you drafted in the 4th round. Again, another guy that can't get on the field and has shown you that you drafted him to play tackle, but his best position is guard. So the one thing I've learned from this era is we draft tackles, but they only can play guard.
Last 2 eras.
So let's think about that in a vacuum. So what are we doing? Like this is the part that's killing me is, and we haven't gone to anything beyond that. So our second rounders can't get on the field. Our first rounders aren't on the field. And our third and fourth rounders get hurt. Like,
what are we doing here?
What are we doing here, KG?
You know what? They used to have this thing on Channel 9 after the 91 season, and they would put up the remaining players that were on the team from the 91 championship. And it would be like, who are these guys?
Right.
We need a segment like that. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Because this makes no sense. And granted, I don't like the draft at all now, because it's like it's like a Madden draft. You get talent the first 10 picks, and then after that, it's a crapshoot the rest of the way. You might find a gem here and there. It's like a Madden draft. And that's what it feels like here. It feels like a fucking Madden draft.
See, and I totally disagree with you. I feel like the NBA is that way. I feel like the NFL, if you stick to what you should be taking.
No, I mean here. I don't mean as a whole. I mean here.
Everybody, okay, I got you.
Here, it feels like a Madden draft.
Because the last 9 second round picks, good God, and I can't tell you about the third rounders, but AG might be the most productive third rounder they picked in a long time. So when
BJ said he don't agree with that.
What don't they agree with?
The Madden draft and
how. Okay, yeah, I'm with him on that because
in the draft. Yeah, no, the draft is deep, but it seemed like we never hit on anything. When I say Madden draft, I mean that's what it feels like here.
Right.
It feels like we can't hit. We find a gym, and then something always happens.
Well, it's not even a gym because here we go.
That is true.
It's not true. Because if that's the case, then you draft more. Look, yes, you drafted Payne. Yes, you drafted. Ryan Anderson. And you drafted John
Darian Mathis, Brian Robinson.
So you got 5 players from there. And you probably saw, I mean, like, let's not get it misconstrued. Because if I go to Alabama to see for Darian Mathis and I see this running back running hard, I'm going to take a look at the running back. So I get what you're saying, but it's not the pandemic level thing. And what we should do,
Hirschbacher.
Oh my God. What we really should do is a breakdown 1 week of the digression of this offensive line. Because that's a thing too.
Yeah, and BJ said not the biggest. They have anyone scouting. I say when I say that, I get yelled at. I said when Doug Williams was in the scouting department, we had gems. He found gems late in the rounds, and the guys that came in and produced for a little while. They produced for as long as they could, and then you got rid of them. But it didn't cost you no money.
But the problem is you gotta get to your second contracts, which hasn't happened a lot here.
Yeah.
And then B, these guys actually gotta be on the field and actually play well. And that's why I say on January 9th, there should not be the press conference should be all about Josh Harris telling us how we move forward. Where do we go from here? And maybe that's the 8th, but one of those 2 days, he's telling you the plan. He may not tell you exactly what he's looking for because he don't want to give all that information away. But yeah. And that's the DC deep dive into the Washington Commanders for you guys.
Let's jump on this last one, and then we got to run up out of here. We got to wrap this shit up. The Wizards, bruh. I can't even call them snake bit. I can't call them cursed. Like, I long for the days of the Washington Bullets that were finishing 41-41, 40-42. I long for those days.
No, you don't.
Yes, I didn't. No. They play better basketball than this.
No. Those are the days you should be tired of. Josh Harris tells you, I can cheat and get you to 8-1. I can cheat and get you to 41-41.
Hold on. This is the reason why I say this. I say I'm longing for those days because you go from being a 55. I think they won 60 with the big three. With Gil. They didn't win 60 with Gil now?
No. Their best is 48 with 49.
You sure?
I am positive. I wrote an article for 106.7 like 5 years ago that laid this out. Yep. This team has not won more than 49 ball games.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what? That is right. Because I keep putting them at 50 just to get them there because they haven't won 50 since the 70s. You're right. You're right. So to go from having a team that was consistently in the playoffs, winning 49 games, to this shit show with two quote-unquote stars, because they're not superstars, they're not elite, they're just stars because they're names. Jordan Poole because he played in Golden State. Kyle Kuzma because he played with the Lakers. You know, and Xavier chiming in, they are soft. SOWFT. Soft.
This is what you ask for, KG.
Huh?
When you ask for them to move on from Bill, for them to tear it down, they just tore it down for you. They're tearing it down. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
You draft. You got kids that are in between. Like you didn't draft anything special. You got Kispert.
Anything special.
You got Advia, who he looks like he could be a good, solid player for you, but he's not a dynamic player. Your best young player on this team is the young fundamentals. The young fundamentals is the best team. He has the one game when I watch his game and I watch him play. He plays without, you can't force him to speed up his game. He plays a natural thing. And if he actually played with somebody other than Jordan Poole at the 2, he might be averaging 15 to 18 points a game.
Now, this is what I meant when I said move on from Bradley Beal. I didn't mean go out and get Jordan Poole. I thought, hey, yeah, I get that. But I'm like, that was a shock. I was like, all right, you got Poole, you got Kuzma, you got Gafford, but Gafford's not playing like he was when he first got here.
He actually had a good game the other night. He's had 2 really good games in the last couple of weeks. Doritos. He got him for some Doritos.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. Did I have high hopes for this team? Of course. Because it was like, all right, Jordan Poole, he's coming from a winning organization. He has his head on straight. He's a good kid. Yeah, he's a fucking knucklehead, man.
But I told you that.
He's a fucking knucklehead. Kyle Kuzma's girlfriend needs to sit front row every goddamn game. Like, if it costs money for me to have her sit front row, I need her to sit front row so this motherfucker can average 30 points a game. This ain't even my team, and they upset me that much. They just do dumb shit. Like, they feel like my fucking kids, man. Like, I yell at them like they fucking kids. Like, why do you do dumb shit? Why would you? What was your thought process? Why the fuck would you do that? That's how I feel when I look at the Wizards. I'm sitting there looking at the TV. Why the fuck would you do that? Huh? Now I got to get up off this sofa. Now I got to whoop your fucking ass.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this. Now you making me do this because you won't do what the fuck I asked you to do. That's how I feel with the Wizards. I feel like they're a fucking child. They're a child. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And they look at you and they be like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
All the talent that you have.
They don't have a lot of talent.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you out. They don't.
I
The
guess
best player is Poole and Kuzma.
yeah.
Kuzma thinks he's trying out for Fashion Runaway. Poole, God knows what Poole is into right now.
Both of them got rings.
Don't matter. When you don't have the personality to be the guy that leads a team, and I think Gil said this, and I think KG said this about Jordan Poole. You got a ring. You played under Steph and them. You should be better at setting an example for the guys coming up after you.
That's my point.
But the problem is you got two clowns. Oh boy, the dog ears went up. You good though.
You said it. You should say that to Jordan Poole when he tried to understand. I did. I cussed Jordan Poole. I was like, "What the fuck? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?"
This team.
I digress.
No, you're fine because this is the team you were supposed to have this year. They were going to overachieve and give you great draft capital, or they were to underachieve and give you great draft capital. Because you get draft capital in the fact that they're losing, and as long as you don't get screwed over by the ping pong balls, you're getting a quality pick. Where you could have gotten maybe something extra, and I don't think Kyle Kuzma leaves now because Jordan Poole has been such an utter failure that I think they'll cut their losses at the trade deadline with Jordan Poole and just move on.
Yeah. BJ says when you have undisciplined franchise, small things get amplified, and they're amplified times 30. Something that I didn't want to happen is going to happen. Wes Unseld Jr. is going to get fired. If it's at the middle of the season, it's at the end of the month, it's at the beginning of the year, he's getting fired. Mike Miller or James Posey takes over.
Huh?
Mike Miller or James Posey takes over.
Posey? I don't know.
I'm just throwing out names. All right, let's wrap this shit up because we old and this time it's past our bedtime. I need to take my meds anyway.
Posey? I'm sorry, man. I'm just
go ahead and say it. What are you doing?
All I see is Posey in the Celtics jersey. That's part of the reason for that face.
He's on the he's one of the bench coaches as well as Mike Miller. They have Joseph.
Is that University of Florida Mike Miller or is that the other Mike Miller? Because there's like
the older Mike Miller.
That doesn't help at all.
That is Mike Miller. Where else did he coach? Let me see what else he coached at.
Did he play at Florida? Is basically what I'm trying to get.
No, not that Mike Miller.
Okay, thank you.
He used to be an assistant with the Knicks. He was an interim head coach. He was an assistant with the Thunder, and now he's an assistant here. He was a G League Coach of the Year in 2018.
All right, see, that's what I need. I needed to know if he was the Mike Miller from Florida.
No, not that Mike Miller.
Yeah.
I thought Jordan Poole was going to be helping hand to the Wizards, but he playing like dog crap. Boy, just said he playing like dog shit. He playing like refried dog shit. Anyway, time to wrap that shit up, B. Midnight Rider, we've covered a lot tonight. To stick with DC, you got a real quick hit for me with the Caps.
Yeah, the Caps just had a good weekend last weekend. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. The controversy right now for them is, do you have a goaltender competition, a controversy? Because Kepner struggled, and I can't think of the other guy's name. I think it's Charlie left fielder, Lee Brandt, whatever. Now I'm making him a Texas Rangers left-handed pitcher that throws garbage. But whatever their backup goalie is, he's been playing better hockey. And he's played a lot more. And they have these weird 3-game stretches where I think he gets 2 of the 3 this weekend when they go play. The other thing that in Caps news, maybe this is a way for them to stay young or get younger, is they did promote 2 of their younger players, their 2020 draft pick, and then their first round draft pick in 2020, and then their 2022 first round draft pick. So that gives them a center and a defenseman, I believe. So that's all stuff to try to help them out. But the problem they have is they really just got to get Alex Ovechkin just to see something go into the net. And I don't think he can be a empty netter. I think they need Ovechkin to score a goal within the course of play. Somebody said, even if it's something that like goes off his skate by accident, he just needs to see something go into the back of the net to get him off of this little snide that he's on. Because I think he has 6 goals right now, maybe 7 at this point, and that's generous. Because it's not because he's not. I don't think it's because he's not playing well. I think he just had some bad luck. And sometimes hockey is like sacks, where you go through a stretch where you can't get right, and then all of a sudden you just get that one, and that one starts the roller coaster. I call it the Preston Smith effect. If it was sacks, like he gets one, and all of a sudden he ends the game with 4 sacks. And then if you look at the end of the season, he's got 11 sacks. You know what I'm saying? And they may have happened in 3 ball games, but nobody cares because he's got double-digit sacks.
Exactly.
And I apologize to Preston Smith for that accidental shot. It was purposeful, but I didn't mean for you to get caught in the crossfire.
Last but not least, the Butler Bulldogs down the Georgetown Hoyas 74-64. Brooks for Butler 13.6 rebounds. Styles for Georgetown 19.6 rebounds and assists. Maybe we'll talk some college basketball coming up.
I like Styles. I think he's the one player that I've seen with Georgetown that kind of stood out for me. But I like the brand that they're playing. They're playing a tougher brand. They're in ball games, but they still just turn the basketball over. It's way too much for me in that scenario. Baseball. If you're a baseball fan right now, you want the sell to Lynn Brandt, whoever Ted Leonsis partner is at Monumental. You want them to sell to him. You want that to happen in 2024 because that kickstarts the roller coaster effect to the TV rights in this area, because I think both teams end up on Monumental Sports at the end of the day based on relationships that they have.
All right. Well, we got to get up out of here. Remember, Fort Mose, www.buyfortmose.com/discount/maniacs for our discount code. Get your drinker, your sipper, something, especially if they like to smoke cigars. Nothing goes better with a good stick than a bourbon. I learned that from the Boss BJ as well as the Nubian Sumo. So if you got a cigar smoker, you want to get a good bourbon to go with a good stick, www.buyfortmose.com/discount/maniac. That is our discount code. Get $10 off. All right.
And that's not just back to the guys, because it's some ladies that smoke sticks and they like a good bourbon too, or rye or whiskey. So let's not cut that part of the world off.
Yeah, that is true. I'm sorry, ladies. If you're a lady that smoke a good stick, buy Fort Mose. And then the Boss BJ go. He know about it. For the Midnight Rider, he's on this side. He's on that side. He's on that side. The Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy KG. We don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.